I suggested it might be polite to call before we came barging in, Mary. After all, you might have been busy.
And I said you'd want to know what we know right away.
I'll never understand her logic.
What on earth is wrong, Toby? You look furious.
Right now, I could chew a steel bar and spit nails, Mary. This apartment complex is turning into a slum.
Not true, Toby. You're not sure that Dudley Ford is moving in.
What makes you think he is?
He sent an email bragging about becoming our neighbor.
When Toby heard a vacant apartment has been leased, she leaped to a conclusion.
You don't even know Dudley Ford, Ian. You haven't seen him or talked to him in person. More importantly, you haven't been alone with him in the same room, and I have. That boy has a screw loose up here, mister. And I don't want to be living here when things come apart.
As usual, Toby is overreacting to a non-problem, Mary.
I'm sure Mary would agree there is a problem. I don't think she wants a dirty young man for a next-door neighbor. I told Ian there must be something in the bylaws stating that an owner can't rent to an undesirable tenant.
And as I pointed out, one must be very careful when tossing around the word undesirable.
Ian is right, dear. You shouldn't make unfounded accusations.
My worries about Dudley Ford are based on fact, Mary. When this place is surrounded by police cars with flashing lights, remember, I warned you.
I hope you're satisfied, Toby. Mary Worth probably thinks she has Jack the Ripper as a neighbor now.
Oh, shut up, Ian. If you won't help stop Dudley Ford, I'll handle it myself.
I hope you were joking about taking on the Dudley Ford matter alone.
I meant every word, Ian.
Remember, Toby, to our knowledge, Ford has broken no laws, and society frowns on vigilante justice.
I don't see the sign Ian sent us here, so the apartment must be rented. But how can I find out who's moving in?
Bless my soul. Is the blonde bombshell simply out for a stroll? Or do I rate a welcoming committee? Now I ask you, is this my lucky day or what? The blonde bombshell herself has come to bid me welcome. I'm impressed.
You?
Don't just stand there, BB Shell. Sound the trumpets, roll out the red carpet, slay the fatted calf and all that. Or at least, hold the door for me. This box weighs a ton.
I heard a rumor you were moving here, and I hoped it wasn't true.
Brrr! It's nice to be greeted with open arms by my new neighbors. I'm planning a small housewarming bash. It's nothing special, just champagne, caviar, a string quartet, and a few hundred guests.
Charming.
Be a good girl, BB Shell, or I won't invite you.
When I heard the rumor you might be moving in, I hoped it wasn't true, Ford.
Now why on earth would you do that, BB Shell? It seems to me you'd be delighted to know that there's a blossom of youth in this geriatric desert. Add this to your load, buddy. I'll catch up in a minute.
My name is Carlos, senor.
not buddy.
Whatever. Just trot along while I chew the fat with my lovely new neighbor.
My name is Carlos, senor, not buddy.
Whatever. Just trot along while I chew the fat with my lovely new neighbor.
Everybody here respects Carlos Allura, Mr. Ford. We don't treat him like a peasant.
Forgive me. I didn't have time to memorize the house rules. Enough chit-chat. When you watch your free lesson on what every pretty lady wants to know about computers.
I don't need lessons, Mr. Ford. I don't plan on using my husband's computer.
I'll make a small wager, pretty lady. A bottle of wine says that curiosity will have you pleading for my services within a week.
That does it. Listen, you trash-talking delinquent. I've had it to here with the not-too-sly innuendos.
Hold, fair lady. Call off the attack dogs. If you think I was suggesting anything but free computer training, I'm shocked. You have a dirty mind. If you're reading something suggestive into my innocent comments, okay, then we have a communication problem, Mrs. Cameron. Probably a generational thing. I'm glad to see someone in the neighborhood understands the language of youth.
Dawn?
Hi, Mrs. Cameron. Long time no see.
Good morning, Dawn.
So help me, if Dudley Ford hits on her, I'll strangle him. So help me, if Dudley Ford hits on her, I'll strangle him.
You're getting a late start to school, aren't you, Dawn?
Not really, Mrs. C. My first hour's a study period, and since I'm a senior, I can skip it without penalty.
Did you say senior? I thought I knew every lovely lady on campus. How did I miss you?
Dawn is in high school, Mr. Ford. She's younger than she looks.
I have nothing against high school. I was once an inmate there myself. I'm Dudley Ford, and I'm in the process of becoming a tenant in this complex.
Hey, welcome. I'm Don Weston. Dad and I live below the Camerons.
Count your fingers, Dawn. And be sure to wash your hands before you touch food.
Against her better judgment, Toby has introduced Dawn to Dudley Ford.
To make a pun, Ms. Weston, you've made more than my dawn. You've made my day. I was starting to think I'd been marooned on an island in a sea of bald spots and purple hair. I'm chasing a PhD, but decided to take a detour in search of fame and fortune.
Be honest with the girl, Ford. You're a dropout.
A temporary condition, Mrs. Cameron. I definitely plan to return to grad school. After I become the world's next billionaire bite baby.
Bite Baby? Are you into computers?
Isn't everyone?
He's a vagabond repairman.
Great. Dad and I have 4 computers, and it always seems like one is down.
Oh, I'll give you my card. This is an old card, Dawn. It has my former phone number. The address is old. It's the off-campus tenement that I used to call home. But the name is right. And I promise, as soon as they assign my new phone number, you'll be the first to know.
Dudley Ford is sort of smooth, Mrs. Cameron.
That's not the word I would use to describe him, Dawn. Unless you agree something smooth, could also be slick, or even slimy!
Gosh, when Father hears we're getting a computer expert for a neighbor, Wilbur will want to adopt him.
Given a choice between adopting a cobra and Dudley Ford, I'd opt for the snake, Dawn. And you can throw in a couple of pythons for good measure.
I get the impression that you're not a great fan of Mr. Dudley Ford, Mrs. Cameron.
You got that right. I had the sorry experience of spending a few hours alone with him. To know Dudley Ford is to loathe him.
Why?
To know Dudley Ford is to loathe him.
Why?
The boy has delusions of grandeur about his sex appeal.
Maybe he's entitled, Mrs. C. Did you notice his physique?
I suspect Ford is a workout freak, like your boyfriend, Sammy Lyons.
There's a big difference, Mrs. Cameron. Sammy Lyon is always talking about how strong he is. But Dudley Ford just stands there and lets you draw your own conclusion. I like Mr. Ford. He's sorta laid back in a refreshing kind of way.
Don't be fooled by first impressions, Dawn. Behind his smile, Dudley Ford is about as refreshing as a deep breath of poison gas. Seriously, Dawn, be careful. Dudley Ford is not the kind of person you want to get close to.
Don't worry, Mrs. C. I can take care of myself. Besides, I'm almost unofficially engaged to Sammy Lyons in a non-binding way, of course.
As Dawn Weston leaves for school, and Toby continues her morning power walk. In the apartment of Sugarstone's newest resident.
Still dead. Come on, Baby Bell. Connect my life support system.
Just put the stuff over there, buddy. I'll be back in a minute.
I am not, buddy.
A moment later.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could a new neighbor borrow a cup of telephone?
You want to borrow what?
The use of your phone for 5 minutes, if I may, dear lady. Mine hasn't been connected yet, and I need to explain the phrase life and death to the folks at Baby Bell.
You're welcome to use the phone on the desk in the living room, Mr.
Ford. Dudley Ford. And I appreciate your help. I think I'm gonna be very happy here. Everyone I've met so far has been my kind of folks.